Hello everybody, welcome to Chiaroscuro, the art of living life. This tarot reading is going to be about how you can find opportunity in this current financial crisis, or what opportunity is there available in whatever you may be going through right now with the current state of things in the world. If you happen to pick this video later, at a later date, you may interpret this as well as if you are currently going through some kind of financial crisis. This reading could still be applicable to you, so it is timeless. Just as a side note, if other people's energy comes up in the reading, just keep in mind that the energies could be switched. So if I say you're feeling one way and another person's feeling another way, and it actually makes more sense to you to go in the other direction, then just take that how that resonates with you. These are general readings, so some of it may not resonate, some of it may. I'm, just reading a general energy here. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you're a return, thank you for coming back. Love having you. We have 4 decks to choose from. Timestamps will be in the description below, and there will be an image towards the end of my introduction that shows a picture up close of all of the decks. So if you need to see them better, if you want to pause that and take a few minutes with it to kind of intuitively pick which deck you would like, you are welcome to do that. Deck number 1 will be a smoky quartz. Deck number 2. Deck number 3 is a really dark amethyst. And deck number 4 is iron pyrite. I think that's what it is. Fool's gold. I think that's iron pyrite. I loved fool's gold as a kid. Oh man. I got a big kick out of it. I got a lot of these little pieces. Anyway, the timestamps will be below. You can check those, skip ahead if you would like. Otherwise, thank you for watching again, and we're going to move on to deck number 1. If you chose deck number 1 for your reading, the Smoky Quartz, this will be the reading for you on where is the opportunity for you within this financial crisis. So let's see what we've got going on. So first off, what I'm seeing in these cards for you so far is that there is a little bit of a feeling of like leaking money, you spend and you spend and you spend, and you're probably not bringing in the income that maybe you were before, or a lot of people have lost their jobs or been furloughed, or there's a bunch of things happening, and right now you kind of feel like any money you have is just kind of going right down the drain. As a result, it's causing you to get a new perspective on what are the things that are dragging you down. There's a very material aspect to this. You can see this person's like being dragged down by their materialisticness, and it's not necessarily that you are materialistic, but maybe the materialistic things that you currently value are actually dragging you down. Maybe your house is too big and the mortgage is too much, or there's a lot of things that are physical, material, that you may be spending money on that are actually pulling you down, and you're just kind of dumping money, just pouring out of you, dumping money into all of this. Could be credit cards. Maybe you racked up a bunch of debt on some credit cards buying stuff, and now you're just leaking money into that. But the whole point of this financial crisis, it's giving you a totally new perspective. So it's helping you prioritize what's important and what's not. What is actually a drain and what is actually helpful. The upside of this card is stability, abundance, having everything that you want. And this is everything you want is dragging you down in a way. So there's a reevaluation going on of where you're spending your money, where you're putting your time, and you're going to be forced to get real crafty, real clever, and get a new perspective on the things that it's time to let go of. Because, before you thought maybe they were beneficial, but now they're a burden. Let's get some more detail. Interesting. So the struggle that you are going through right now with the financial crisis, because we do have a financial crisis card here. We've got the Five of Pentacles, which can indicate poverty or lack, a lot of lack mentality. You're going through this for a reason, because on the other end of it is fulfillment, lots of happiness, feeling really good about things. This is Nine of Cups is the wish card. You get what you want. There's always an element of that where be careful what you wish for, because where your focus is being put is what is going to come to you. So I think a lot of this is redirecting your focus onto the things you actually want instead of what you should want, or what people tell you you want, or what society says you should want. It's what you actually want. And you're going to learn this by things falling apart that no longer serve you in this time. So I would watch a little bit, because I think there is some financial stress. I would watch yourself becoming super selfish, is a nice way of putting this card when it's reversed. You may be tending to have an attitude that is a little bit like me, and what how is this all going to work out for me, not necessarily considering other people. That may not be totally a bad thing, though, because the next thing is the Hermit. This is going off on your own, learning. You're gaining a higher knowledge through all of this about yourself, about how the world works. There's a huge evolution going on. You're basically leveling up to the next level of you, where you're not just concerned with the physical things. There's more to you than what you have, You're learning that. You're evolving through this. I would just watch to make sure that it's totally okay to take care of yourself, because in this instance, you need to be, the alone time that is existing right now is good, and if you don't have enough alone time, taking it is very beneficial. That solitary, quiet time is where you will figure out what to do. You will get the new inspiration of what clever, new perspective, where you need to go, comes in quiet time. But it doesn't mean taking or hurting other people. Not that you are, but selfishness can kind of go two ways. There's the idea of selfishness as you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And then there's the idea of selfishness as I'm going to take from everybody, no matter how it hurts them, so that I gain. We're wanting to avoid the I want to take from other people and hurt them side of selfishness. Being selfish to take care of yourself first, so that then you're able to take care of others, is a different vibe. It's a much healthier perspective. But if you're taking from other people and it's hurting them and you don't really care because you're in the hole, this is a behavior that is going to be changing through this. Whether you want it to or not, this is going to change. I would let it happen, just FYI, because you do have this magic going on right here. This getting what you want, the wishes coming true, the fulfillment, the emotional satisfaction, there's an element of security in this, and feeling very secure. It's less about the actual security and more about feeling secure. So your feeling of security, how you view that, is going to change. Because instead of it being dependent on stuff, it may be something that is self-generated within you. Instead of it being dependent on taking from other people, it's going to be something you're going to learn how to generate for yourself. We do have strength here. I suspect that this is you breaking out of an old habit, or wrangling an old tendency, an old habit, something that isn't good for you anymore. Holding on to a bunch of stuff. it may be time for you to grow up, move on from that. Because it looks like you're moving into a different direction in your life, or it's more about how I feel stable instead of I have all of this stuff. It's more self-generated. This is also about being kind to yourself. I've got a lot of cards about self-care in here. And so maybe you've been delaying self-care in order to gain things, and I think that that's going to change. You're going to realize that the things don't take care of you, you take care of you. And it's time for you to get to wrangle these old habits, have some discipline, kind of get in control of this situation, because it's actually better for you. You're actually stepping up, you're taking care of yourself, and have a little bit of patience, because this isn't going to happen quickly. None of these cards suggest rapid movement, so there may be a period where it gets better the faster you do the work on you. The faster you start making the life changes and adopting the new perspective and evolving into the new you. That's the only way to speed up the process. So if it ends up taking 3 months because you aren't ready to do it yet, you got to give yourself the time you need to do. Because I do see a big lack mentality going on. You're going to be moving out of that. At least the whole point of all of this is to get you to move out of it and to move into finding abundance in how something feels, or generating it for yourself instead of being dependent on material objects. That's a process. And I would start it by whatever you can't afford, whatever's dragging you down. It may be time to let go of that. Whether that's, maybe you're giving money to maybe you're taking care of somebody financially, and maybe it's time to let that go. Maybe you're buying fancy cars and big houses and things that aren't practical at this moment in time. It's a little bit, this is happening so that your security no longer depends on your possessions, on what you have, on the physical, tangible. Because you can be happy without a lot of money. You could still be very, very happy. Maybe you want more money, but this is getting you to be focused more on on generating your own happiness, and less on thinking that money and security brings you happiness, if that makes sense. Happiness comes first, and then the rest will follow. All right, we've got Come to the Edge. I'm going to look this card up. I'm learning this deck, so I'm going to be using the book for a little while. Oh, wrong numbers. Sorry, guys. A little slow doing this. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear and accepting risk. Facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated. To feel the exhilaration as, excuse me. You ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. Wow. If you believe, if you shift your mindset from that you're lacking and understand that things are changing, but it's all for the better, you're really going to come out on the other side of this in a massively better place. Better than you could have even imagined. There is a new perspective shift. And it's letting go of that material stuff that's dragging you down. It is a big shift, though. I'm not going to lie. Be easy on yourself, because to shift your mentality from I find security from things to I find security from myself, it takes a little time, so give yourself a break. Accept the road. Don't fight it. Let it go, and it'll be a lot easier, and it'll go a lot faster. And you're going to come out ahead of this financial craziness you know, on top of everything. Yeah, that's it. That concludes my reading. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Comments below are very helpful for me to know that I'm doing a good job as a reader, and thank you for watching. If you chose deck number 2 for your reading, this orange stone, this will be the reading for you on where is the opportunity in this current financial crisis for you. Or how can you create that, where is it? How do you come out in a better spot on the other side? Wow. Ooh. So, this is a big level up for you. Excuse me, this current financial crisis is it's opening your eyes to that you haven't been following your own purpose in a way. You haven't been following your own path. You haven't been living life true to you. You maybe hear the call, feel the pull. We've got judgment reversed, like guys laying on the trumpet instead of listening to it. Not answering your own call of your own destiny, so to speak. You're ignoring it. I think fear played into it. I think now that this current financial crisis is happening, either something about it or your perspective has changed and you're no longer, you're either in a lot of fear about this or you're seeing that you were afraid and that's why you didn't engage in your life path before. Like her eyes are open now. She's out of her mind. She can see the ways that she has been thinking that have blocked her from being able to hear the call or answer the call or move forward with her own life purpose. And I think either you're starting to see that happened because you were in a place of fear, or you're no longer feeling afraid to do it because everything's out of whack, and it doesn't matter where you are. It's still going to be kind of strange and weird and shifty, so you may as well do what you want because I don't know, it's either taking the fear away or you are now seeing that you didn't answer the call because you were afraid. Oh, there's a lot of cards here. So this looks very relationship-y, and I think for some of you, I think a relationship may be in play here. But I think for the good majority of you, this is actually a relationship with yourself. We've got the Two of Cups, a relationship card here. And I think this is actually due to judgment. It's a big purpose card, big life purpose, hearing the call, not hearing the call. I think a lot of this has to do with lining up with yourself, from operating from your true higher self perspective, really going after what you want in life. Or maybe you've had relationships and it's detoured you, where you were on the path and you got distracted by a relationship and you got off the path and you didn't listen to it anymore. Or perhaps there is a relationship that is needed in order to propel you forward. But I think you've been operating very logically. There isn't totally anything wrong with that, but from a logical perspective, you don't hear your higher self with logic. You hear your higher self with intuition. Using your emotional guidance system, you can feel that. And I think you may have been operating through logic. Either that or you just had a revelation of the truth of a situation. That a truth of a situation where it was, perhaps you thought it was a good relationship at some point. Could be work, could be a love relationship. It could be any kind of relationship. There's lots of types of relationships. Could be a relationship with yourself where you realize that it was disharmonious. It's not lined up. What you want and what the other party wants is not the same. And you can't change somebody's values, you know? If somebody values something different from you, you're going to have conflict. It just is the way it is. It doesn't mean anybody's right or wrong necessarily, but if values don't line up, there is conflict. It's like a thunderstorm. You know, can be explosive, can be very angry, very, very fiery. In terms of alignment with yourself, this is a disalignment with yourself, maybe choosing a lesser path, the tempting path, so to speak, instead of choosing what is right for you. Maybe you can't see what's right for you, but I think you're seeing, in any of these situations, I think you're either seeing that this is going on, or you are operating so logically that you aren't able to connect with your higher self and have that equal exchange of knowing where you want to go. This is a very higher level reading. It's interesting. There is a disconnect here. It's like you feel disconnected. You feel disconnected from your higher self, or from whatever this partner is. Like you're the odd man out. Or perhaps you're realizing you were the odd man out. That's why it was disharmonious. And now you actually want something like this. That would not really be the case with your higher self, unless you self-imposed that by using logic and you kind of removed yourself from the equation of your own purpose, of your higher self. Then you become a stranger to it, or you view your higher self as maybe somebody who doesn't have your back. Wow. This is really intense. I'm getting like 3 different things going on here. A lot of major arcana cards. We've got, temperance reversed here, extremes or lack, Six of Pentacles reversed. I feel a little bit like you may have been, it's almost like a feeling like you want somebody to rescue you. And it isn't working, It isn't working. That mentality isn't working. It isn't part of your purpose either. Let's see what this says. Maybe this will make this a little bit more cohesive, because I feel like I'm jumping around talking about 3 different storylines. Here and now. Whoops, got a jumper. Since that jumped out and reversed, I'm going to read both the upright and reversed meaning, and you take whichever one resonates with you. Being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. Everything happens in the now and the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. For the reverse, whenever you find your mind drifting into the past, wondering if things could have or should have been better, or whenever you find yourself longing for the good old days, you leak power. The same is true of looking too far ahead and hoping the future will provide you with certainty. Driven by ambition, you might wander too long in a place with no substance and forget who that you are here today. The past and future are illusions. Whenever you leave the present moment, you're disconnecting from your inherent power to manifest your reality with true substance. Connection with your higher self. Neither past nor future can give you what you need. Now is all that counts. Come back from those eternities and be here now. All will be well and miracles will appear as if by magic in the perfect timing of spirit. Bam! We got some disconnection from your life path. That's what this is. That's what this is. All these things, this is disconnection. Well, not this. You do want the connection, but it's flanked, you know? It's not actually connected. You're not connected to your higher self. You're not connected to your purpose. It causes you to be a little bit extreme then, you know, or lacking. This is because of logic. You're starting to see, like, again, we have this is because of logic. This is the Queen of Swords. Here we have the Eight of Swords reversed, and it's freeing yourself from those mental binds, from those perspectives, from the thought patterns, from the mindsets that were holding you back, that were preventing you from connecting with your higher self. This also has to do with living in the present moment, not in the future or the past. It's almost like a shedding of all of that, and learning to be present now, learning to hear yourself, learning to hear your call. And fear, it's interesting, you do recognize that fear has either held you back or, you know, it has prevented you from listening to the call of your higher purpose. You're starting to really see that, and as a result, I don't think that you are that afraid anymore. I think that's kind of gone away. And, you know, I said before, you know, I feel like somebody using these cards, you may want somebody to come and save you. I think this is a mentality that you are breaking out of, because as you align with your higher self, you're going to realize you don't need that, and so it may be viewed as being a little bit extreme by others because they don't truly understand what you are doing, but you are, you know, where you're going, where your purpose is, may be a little bit against the grain, but by doing it, it's like you don't need somebody to come and save you anymore. You get rid of that mentality, and you're able to do it on your own. I think these cards also simultaneously have to do with fear, because you may have tried to do what you wanted to do before and it didn't work. It wasn't the right time. Now is the right time, though. You know? Because those cards are kind of tied with this fear card we have here. So you're really letting that go. Let go of the past. Let go of the past failures. And don't think about the future and think, oh my God, what if it fails again? Blah, 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 blah. No, just stay in the now and do your thing and have a good time. Build the relationships that you need for whatever you want to do. You know, line up with yourself. It's crazy. This financial crisis has the opportunity to remove the fear from you so that you can go after your life's purpose. That's fucking amazing. I'm just gonna swear my fucking head off because it's fucking amazing. It's that amazing. It's that cool. We've got some cups here. You know, you're really gonna be tapping into that you know, you may even have some intuitive gifts, not gifts, everybody has intuitive abilities, but you may be stronger in it and just haven't learned to tap into it quite fully because of logic. Logic and intuition don't go together. Although some can argue that intuition is a form of logic, but nevertheless, it's not a thinking thing. It's a feeling thing. Yeah, stay in the present moment. Start learning how to line up with your higher self. Google that if you have to. How do I learn to connect with my higher self? There may be a meditation aspect to it, but you need to connect. You need to connect with your true self and your true purpose, because the fear that held you back before is leaving. And just make sure to stay in the present moment. Don't worry about how you failed in the past. Don't think about how you might fail in the future. Just go. Listen to the call, and everything will be fine. That's amazing that this is going to remove fear from you. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh. Deck number 2. You're going on a wild journey. Should you answer the call? Oh my God, your life is going to change. It's going to be so different. It's going to be so much better. You know, whatever you want to create, you get to create it. But you need an exchange with your higher self. and be in the present moment. Don't let fear get in the way. I think you're seeing that. You're going to be able to nip that in the bud real quickly. That concludes the reading for deck number 2. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. It lets me know as a reader that I'm doing a good job. And good luck to you. Enjoy the process of evolution, because you're going in a really cool direction. Thank you for watching. If you chose the dark purple amethyst stone for deck number 3, this will be the reading for you on where is the opportunity within this current financial crisis. Interesting. So this current financial crisis is illuminating to you that there is something you need to move away from, you need to move on from. Perhaps you don't see it yet, or you haven't seen it, and this crisis is illuminating it to you. But the crisis will illuminate it to you, if you haven't seen it yet, but either you're currently blind to it, or you were blind to it and you're coming to terms with the fact that you were blind to it. You know, not blind to the truth, not being able to see the truth. But the opportunity in this is actually that you're going to move away from something that really is hurting you. You know, whether it's a job, a relationship, a situation, there's something that is hurting you deeply, hard, maybe even on a physical level. You know, like maybe the stress of something is just wearing you down, physically even, but mentally, on all levels. You know, it's a very graphic card. You kind of get the idea just from looking at that. This situation is you engaging, in this situation is doing this, is creating this. And it may be a little bit bittersweet. It may be something that you want to work out and it just isn't, but you will leave this situation for something better. You may not necessarily know where you are heading, but it won't really matter. The whole purpose is just out, if that makes sense. Remove yourself from such terrible pain in a way. Oh, good Lord. Ooh. So, here, we got a financial crisis. That's definitely financial crisis. But this is also something else. You know, the financial crisis is showing you where things in your foundation are faulty. Belief systems, ways you've been handling life, how your mentalities toward it, things you've been doing have not been right for you, and it is time for them to end. It's time for them to break down. And the financial crisis is going to happen, or going to make it happen. So if something is breaking down in your life, if it's not working right now, if it's hurting you, if it's just not working, it is time to walk away from that. This crisis is showing you that it is time to go. A really nice thing about this card, though, is what you have been working towards or what you've been building, though it may be crashing down, once it's done, you know, there's clarity. You know, it's like the sun is almost rising, a new day, a new era. It creates the space for what you want to be built. Whatever you're involved in, here is not, whether it's a relationship, it could be a job, a situation. I'm going to guess it's some kind of relationship, some kind of interacting with other people. Doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic, but I am seeing here that you guys don't want the same things. Whatever you're interacting with is perhaps falsely offering you things or saying things to get you to stay in the situation, but it isn't true. Or they may be like giving you stuff you don't want. You don't want it. It isn't right. You know, upright, the Six of Cups is a soulmate card, but when it's reversed, It is trauma, man. There could be some past trauma that you are actually moving away from, that this situation is highlighting so that you can end it and let it go. And I'm not talking trauma like, my mom called me fat when I was little. I'm talking trauma, if that's the case. Not the loose way trauma is used. If I use that word, I'm using it pretty fucking seriously. But you're getting a new perspective. It's interesting. You're quick on your feet. You know, it's almost like you're gaining your power back here because these things are falling apart, because something is ending, because you're walking away from all the stuff that's really hurting you, whether it's past trauma, whether it's a current situation that is not even, you know, maybe you're giving and they're taking, maybe they're promising you things and on some level you know they won't deliver. You want to believe they will, but they're not. And as a result, you've got a way of seeing the world. There's a lot of swords in here, by the way. So I do want to throw in there that this could be a mindset and a mentality that you have learned throughout your life that is breaking down. You know, maybe there's a little bit of a victim mentality, and you're gaining your power back through this financial crisis. Whatever has to crash and burn, whatever that's hurting you, anything that's going on that isn't good for you, that doesn't feel good, it's time for that to let that crash and burn. Because from the ashes, you get to gain your power back. You get to rebuild what you want. You know, you let it go and it creates space for what you want to come in. And there's mindsets. This is thought patterns, mindsets, or perhaps a situation that is restricting you. Something is restrictive, whether it's your own thought patterns or a situation you're allowing yourself to be in. And you're going to realize through this financial crisis that it is time to move on. It is time to let it go. In this process, you regain your own sense of personal power. So you're not just walking away, but you're gaining a sense of your own validity. You're leaving any victim mentalities behind. You have I'm blanking on the word, confidence in yourself, because you've weathered the storm. Things can fall down and you just get right back up and you make something better out of it. You know, the financial crisis, maybe you've got a job that just wasn't working and now you're not working there anymore, and in a way it's like a blessing in disguise. Like maybe maybe you aren't so sad to see the income go, but you're super happy to be going in a new direction and away from the things that are sabotaging you, away from the dysfunction, away from all these things that are hurting you, the betrayal, the backstabbing, that could possibly be a situation that you're in. Maybe you don't even necessarily know that it's happening, but it's happening. And you know on some level that it's time for you to move on. And this financial crisis creates the opportunity with enough things crumbling. It's almost like you don't have to leave. The crisis gives you the opportunity to just go. If that makes sense. You know, something ends on its own. And instead of viewing it as something scary, know that it is, it's happening so that you can set yourself free. There's a level of self-reflection that may need to happen, because I suspect on some level you play a large part in doing this to yourself, with your mentalities, with your thought patterns, in engaging in these kind of things that are hurting you. And you're going to learn your own value, and that you're not going to be doing that anymore. All right. Last card. Truth be told, reversed. Where are you being dishonest with yourself or others? Are you're unhappy? Oh, I'm misreading this. I'm sorry. Where are you being dishonest with yourself or others? If you're unhappy In any area of your life, look for signs of denial. This can also pertain to others being misleading or withholding, or acting from hidden agendas. Now is the time to say no to dishonesty in all forms. Ask for the truth. Even if you don't like what you hear, acknowledging it will be key to a beautiful new future, where you no longer labor under the heavy burdens that deceit and denial impose on you. Set yourself free. Nothing less than the truth is required now. I think that that's very applicable to this reading. We've talked about mindsets. Are you lying to yourself? Is there a form of denial you're in for yourself? In addition, we've also touched on that there may be dishonest people around you. You know? And it's time to set yourself free. That's what this financial crisis is giving you. So run with it. Take the opportunity. Don't go back. Don't go back to that. Go. Get out of there. Whether it's a relationship, a job, whatever situation this is, you should know this is going to be very clear. There won't be any wobble about it. It's something that is really hurting you. You may not know the extent that it is. I suspect you do. But you've been denying it, not facing the truth, like we talked about before. Your own mentalities locking you, imprisoning you. You're going to be set free. You're going to be set free with this financial crisis. So I would take that opportunity and run. It's not actually something bad. If something is ending, it's actually very, very good for you. Get out of your head and run with it. Go with the flow. See where it takes you. But don't hold on to something. The mentality of it's better to have this even though it hurts me than nothing at all is not true. Because if you don't let it go, you don't have any space for something new to come in. So it hurts you extra more than you realize. So let it go. And let the things come in that are actually good for you to build a proper foundation so that when things happen, it doesn't have to crash and burn because there aren't any weak points in it. It's actually built on something strong, on the truth, your truth, you know? Well, that concludes the reading for deck number 3. If you like the reading, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. It helps me as a reader to know that I'm doing a good job. And I'm going to move on to deck number 4. If you chose deck number 4 for your reading, the Iron Pyrite, this will be the reading for you on what opportunity is coming, can come out of this financial crisis for you. Whether it's, you know, something you create yourself or what's the opportunity in it. Ooh. This is cool. You're really leveling up. This is a lot higher path. So there is a mentality you may have had about money, you know, something you may have learned in your life here on Earth. That is, everybody kind of considers a standard, you know, way of doing things. An example would be, you know, you work a 9 to 5 and that's how you make money and that's what everybody's supposed to do. There's something that is some kind of tradition within society that has to do with money that you are going to be breaking free of, because it doesn't work for you. And this financial crisis is going to show you that the abundance you seek comes to you through untraditional methods. You're going to kind of be blazing your own way, taking the road less traveled, and breaking free of any constraints you may have had before, any even mindsets, you know, any lack mindsets, you know, where maybe you didn't do something before because you didn't have the money for it. That's going to change because you're going to break out of whatever mold you've been in, because it's probably falling apart because of the financial crisis. And as a result, an opportunity opens up for you to find your own abundance, you know, find your own money stability flow. It's like rolling in, you know, coins are falling from the sky and the guy's like, yeah, you're dancing under, it's like raining on you. It's raining money and you're dancing in it because you got rid of, you chose to go your own way, to make your own traditions instead of following the way things have always been done, the tradition forever and ever. You're making your own. You're doing something new, you're doing something different, and blazing a new trail. Because the traditional thing fell apart in the financial crisis. As a result, you are breaking out of all things that are restricting you, including money mindsets. So you may, have had a lack money mindset before, and you're actually, by doing the thing that is unconventional, is actually going to bring you what you want. You're breaking out of the tradition, breaking out of the institution, breaking out of the way you've been taught things should be, which sets you free, and the abundance you want can just come pouring in. That's really, really amazing. So the way to navigate this is by listening to your intuition, and you're not doing that. I think the financial crisis has thrown you. You are in danger of reacting out of fear and therefore attracting more of what you fear into your life. So that, you're not lined up with your higher self, you're not listening to your intuition, you're not listening to your guides. In fact, you may have shut down a little bit from the stress of all of this. And it's interesting, we've got two cards here that are somewhat related. You are probably a little bit more comfortable with logic. You are not, because you're not listening to your intuition. But the key here is not, if you are a logical person, such is your nature. But the key is to learn how to use that, how to listen to that. Instead of letting your thoughts overwhelm you and take control and prevent you from doing anything, the fear, the mental masturbation, the worry, the whatever, you're just obsessing. It's time to stop that. The Queen of Wands owns her thoughts. Her thoughts don't own her. And as a result, look at that little bird coming in. It's like a little message from heaven, A little divine message can come in once you own your thoughts. Otherwise, look at this card. That's what happens. That cray-cray look in your eyes is what happens when you let your thoughts run you. You lose control. And it's crazy. It's like, your hair's sticking out everywhere. You don't even have eyeballs anymore. Stop it. You can't even see because your crazy thoughts took all your eyeballs away. So be like the Queen of Wands. Own your thoughts. You're the boss of them. You're the boss of that. Then that can allow the intuition to come in. It's interesting let's see. You're a little bit torn, it seems. You haven't fully committed to embracing the new way. Your new way, your untraditional way. It's like you're weighing it. You're juggling it. And due to the financial crisis, it's probably a little iffy place to be. If things aren't balanced right, that guy could tip over if he doesn't juggle those two pentacles appropriately. But look how calm he is. Look how centered he is. And he's balancing it just fine. So I think you need to believe in yourself a little bit more, that you are totally capable of doing it as long as you stay centered, as long as you don't let your thoughts own you. And you start listening to that intuition, you're actually going to be in a really calm, peaceful place. You're going to be able to do what you want. And you're going to have to let go of the old ways of doing things. This is the Two of Wands reversed. A lot of times when I see this, it's kind of going backwards to, you're relying on the methods you've used in the past to get yourself moving forward, but those are no longer useful anymore. going to the methods that you used to use are going to keep you grounded where you are instead of moving forward. It's time to do something different here. And you've got to wrangle your fear. Because you're going to be fine. If you wrangle that fear, you're going to be doing something new, something exciting. It's like the person who, we don't have inventors, we don't ever have anything new unless somebody has the balls to get out there and do something that's never been done before. That's what I feel like you want to do. And this crisis, it gives you the balls, if that makes sense. You realize all the things that you've been doing in the past that aren't serving you, you're going to get rid of them, you're going to try something new, you're going to get control of your thoughts, and you're going to go in a totally different direction, and you're going to be free. Blazing your own trail. Unrestricted. We've got two oracle cards for you. The first one is mending. I'll look this up. Forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal. The pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. Oh. Set yourself free. Yeah. That is all what this is about. Yes, it is. Reclaim your power. Set yourself free. Get your mind under control. Get going and doing you. Screw how society says you should do it. I say that with a grain of salt. If anybody's watching, and I hope they're not, who might want to hurt people or do anything devious, and I'm talking devious harmful, we're not talking about that. Just need to be clear. When I say do what you're going to do, it does not mean go murder somebody. Does not mean that. Second card. Not for you. Ooh. Not for you. A clear knowing that something is being denied. Rejection is God's protection. There are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek always seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game, and you feel you're just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of this card indicates that you are not going to attain what you want right now, that indeed your dreams for that exact thing will not be fulfilled. This is a time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart, for there are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something much better will make you truly happy, and something much better that will make you truly happy is on its way. Trust this. You're going to be doing something different. So whatever's falling apart, whatever you're breaking out of, let it go. Let it die. If somebody rejected you, screw it. It wasn't for you. You're going to be your freedom, your own personal power, doing things your way and not the way everybody tells you to. That's going to be huge. It's going to be a big theme for you. And this financial crisis is going to really reveal it, because what's falling apart isn't working for you. You'll see that it's not for you. Then you'll get to reevaluate whatever falls apart. You'll know that isn't the right way. Okay, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, has something else in store. In order for me to get what I want, I have to let go of the expectation of how I get it. And I have to allow the universe to give it to me in the way, it knows the way that it is best for me. So whatever it is that I want may come to me in a different way than I think it's going to. Let go of that expectation. Believe in yourself. Know that you have the abilities, have the confidence in yourself. Know you have I can't even talk anymore. You have the ability to handle all of this. Don't go back to the old ways. Don't go back to the ways that you've been dealing with things before. It's not working. And get control of your mind. Do not let it control you, because any fear is going to could prevent you from moving forward in this direction. This is a massive evolution. This is a lot of stuff you're working on. Should you achieve this, you are just going to explode in the world. You know, and maybe it's good whatever you're working on is not for you right now, because it looks like you've got a lot of work on, a lot to work on. Your own personal evolution is so massive right now that this financial crisis is inspiring all of this, and all of this discomfort that you're feeling is all part of your personal evolution. And should you choose to engage in it and believe in it and know that it's all going to work out and learn lessons from it, you are going to be the boss by the end of it. You will be a trailblazer. Doing things your way will be different than the way things have been done before, you know? And you will be rewriting the way things are. I would imagine you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I suspect you will eventually maybe even branch out into the world, like doing something a lot larger scale. But it has to start with you first. In order for you to do what you want out there in the world, you have to be able to do it within you first. Well, that concludes the reading. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. It helps me know I'm doing a good job as a reader. And hang in there. Everything's turning out. Everything's going to turn out. There's opportunity in everything that's going on right now for you. So, thank you for watching. And this concludes the reading for deck number 4.